It's Bruce, Mike. Bruce, you have reached out to us over the years here and said we need to make sure that this program is covered, that we are able to tell the listeners and viewers about it. And I remember going back, I think it was 2 years ago, that we had a conversation and the community just stepped up big time in helping with these with wreaths across Mason County. Take us back to that moment, if you don't mind, and where we are at today.
So actually, this is our second year of the Sons of the American Legion doing this. So it was last
Okay.
year that we took it over from another entity at the American Legion. Our goal last year was to set 500 wreaths. After your radio debut last year, my phone just exploded, and we, in no time at all, were able to place 425 wreaths last year.
Wow, that's
But there
incredible.
are thousands of grave sites. We need to just keep moving forward, and someday hopefully place one on every grave site.
Is it and for that to you, I thought multiple years have gone by, so I'm glad you were able to clarify that.
Oh, we're
Uh,
good.
but I hope that happens again this year. When you reached out to me a couple of weeks ago, it sounded like there was kind of a slow start a little bit. And, and people feeling that summer holding on just a tiny bit. But then things kind of fast forward pretty quickly now. Where do we stand and where's the need? And Mike, feel free to jump in too if you want.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's more up his alley. He's the chairman of this operation, so I'll let him talk here. So.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, you're right. It got a little slow start. I wasn't available full-time like I am now to prod it along. But it's going now. We're probably 50% of where we ended up last year right now. So we're about halfway there, if you will. But our goal again is to try to do 500 or so wreaths, maybe more. So we've got about 2 more weeks in our campaign to achieve that goal.
Well, and I hope we can get that, and we're gonna push on our end quite a bit. And
Yep.
and in your defense, though, and I'm glad you were able to connect with us. And hopefully I'm right that you had some medical or issues that you went through, but you look strong and healthy and good, and I hope you're feeling good.
Thanks. I am. 4 weeks ago, Sunday, I had a heart transplant.
Wow, wow, and and I hope that things are looking up for you after that. That last year, that was a part of our conversation. I remember that now, and it took almost a year.
Almost, yeah. The journey was about a year long, right?
Wow, wow.
Yes,
Well, our prayers and everything are with you. Let's make sure that you know that right away.
I
And
think the prayers are what got me through it. So, Chris, that's the hope
absolutely.
behind it.
Let's
I,
talk about the energy that it's going to take to get us to the finish line
sure.
with this. You're about 50%. So what's needed, and how do we make this happen?
Well, what's needed is we're looking for family and friends of deceased veterans that want to have a wreath placed at the veterans gravesite to come forward and donate a minimum of $25 to cover the cost of a wreath and a stake to place that wreath. Also, we're looking for interested community members that may or may not have veterans buried in Mason County cemeteries that want to donate a wreath in behalf of someone that is not available to do so. Because there's many, like Bruce said, many veterans that maybe family is not in the area anymore. Their family's gone, but the cemetery's been there 150 years or so. So we've got Civil War veterans, that may not have family members here. So we're looking for anybody that's interested in supporting the Veteran Wreath Program to step up and donate a wreath. And
Well, and you, from what I remember with our conversation, you did have a lot of families and those that didn't have anybody buried at the cemeteries that stood up and said, "Okay, this is a huge effort." And as Bruce had started out the conversation, there's a lot of grave sites that are still left even after all of that effort.
I think about 50% of the graves that we placed, or wreaths that we placed last year were donated by non-veteran families.
Wow. That's
So
incredible.
we went out and handpicked what we could in all 14 cemeteries in the county to do a representative sample of and place wreaths where we could. So, but we're willing to do more of that.
Yeah.
And I believe we made a point of making sure there were wreaths at every cemetery,
Right.
whether they were purchased or not.
Right.
We
Yep. There's
made ourselves known everywhere. So.
14 cemeteries in the county that we placed multiple wreaths at, as well as 8 veterans memorials in the county that we placed wreaths at.
And that takes more than just the two of you, right?
Yes. Yeah, we have the Sons of the American Legion, or SAL for short, has our volunteer group, and we got together and we divided and drove out through the county and made sure we placed those wreaths out there. We do the outlying cemeteries, we call them,
Mhm.
before our official wreath laying day. So we we do PM Cemetery and Lakeview Cemetery on Saturday, the 29th. But prior to that, during the weekdays or whatever, we'll drive around the county and place those wreaths so they're in place, prior to that date. So.
And we have a pretty good work bee before that, because all these wreaths have to be tied to the stakes with cable ties and prepped for delivery and all that. So we do a big get together, all of us guys, and put them all together prior. So.
Yeah. So we're looking to, again, those family and friends and interested citizens of the county, or not in the county. I sent a flyer out to my Facebook friends, and I'm from Bay County, over on the other side of the state. So
Yeah.
I'm likely going to get some folks that I grew up with that are going to buy a wreath to sponsor for Mason County grave sites.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
because the ultimate, meaning behind this is what? Fill in the blank. If you had to explain to somebody that approached you and said, I want to buy a wreath, but what does that mean to the overall program? What does that mean this morning from your viewpoint?
For me, it would be just honoring those veterans and wishing them a Merry Christmas.
Right.
Saluting them, thanking them for their ultimate service that they gave. And to drive through there once the snow starts falling and to see them cemeteries lit up with these wreaths with the red ribbons on them is priceless.
Yeah.
I mean, we're part of a veterans organization. Now, Bruce and I are not veterans. Our fathers were veterans, and and I'm a son of the American Legion in honor of my father, and Bruce is as well.
Yep.
And so I take pride in those veterans that some paid the ultimate sacrifice. And some, lived a long life, but have memories of the sacrifices they made at war. And so we do this in honor of them.
Yeah.
It brings tears to my eyes when I think about what veterans go through in their life.
Absolutely.
What
And
we-
I go ahead.
That's what we can do to honor them.
Well, and that's why I wanted you to say what this means, and based on what you just said, hopefully that will encourage people out there, will encourage the listeners and the viewers, because and Bruce, I think you painted that picture perfectly about those that because people visit their loved ones that have been lost throughout the year, and not only in the summertime or when the leaves are on the ground, but also during the winter time, and to be able to see those wreaths throughout the cemetery, I think that probably is a very touching moment.
Yes.
It also says that we haven't forgotten, and there's a lot of history in this country based on the veterans that have gone that we've lost a long time ago, and as of recent too. And so we don't want to differentiate between the two. We want to make sure that everybody is covered as much as possible with a wreath. What does that big picture look like? I mean, I know this year we might not get to 100%, but with a program like this, I mean, eventually you might get to that point where you can cover every grave with a wreath. But what's the goals this year? And with 2 weeks to go, can we do it?
I think Possible, Chris, that we can. We just, we need to do what we're doing today. We reran our ad in the Ludington Daily News last Friday, and we're just going to keep. We got flyers. Maybe Bruce wants to show a picture of the flyer.
Real quick on that. We had somebody within our group try to do a flyer, and just wasn't coming out quite right. It wasn't room, whatever. So look for this flyer. See that?
There
We're
you
going to
go.
be placing that at some grocery stores and stuff like that. I want to put a big shout out to Nick Tykowski at Safety Decals. I went in his office the other day. The girls there were very pleasant, very great to do business with. They not only stepped up and had their web designer make this flyer, they donated it.
That's great. That's
And
great.
printed for us, made us 50 copies, said if we need more to come back, and they said they would be on board every year, just got to change the date. So sounds like we got a good teamwork, just shows how the Ludington community pulls together. So
We just got to make sure that the word gets out, and that's part of what we're doing today, along with the newspaper articles and our flyers.
yeah, we're flooding Facebook with it. I put it on my personal
Facebook.
page, my business page, and now my friends are sharing it. So it's blasting it out there.
So we want those folks that are interested and to donate a wreath. And how they do that is two different ways. We can mail a check for a minimum of $25 or more to the American Legion Post 76, and that is at 316 North James Street here in Ludington.
318, I believe.
318, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
318.
318 North James Street. Is
Okay.
that correct? And to the attention of Bob Mitchell. And he will make sure it gets into the right account, and we'll have it available for purchasing these wreaths here in a couple weeks. Also, you can walk into the Legion. Now, it's a private organization, and if you're not a member, that's okay. There's a doorbell you can ring. It will allow you entry, and then the bartender that's on duty will provide you the paperwork to sign up a wreath. You can either do it by cash or by check. And so those two, either by mail or by in person, you can purchase a wreath.
And if they have questions, they can give you a call. I know we have that number there. I think, Bruce, when we chatted last year, we kind of did that challenge, for the listeners and viewers, and I hope that it happens again today and over the next couple of days. I know, it's Halloween week. We've got LHS football. We have other activities, and we don't want this to become lost. So, if you're listening right now, if you're viewing this, let's make it happen. I mean, today. And we could see businesses, step up. We could see, coworkers say, hey, you know what, let's take a collection and make this happen. What numbers are we looking at? If we get another 100 wreaths this week, or we need a few hundred wreaths this week, what does it look like?
I think we need a few hundred wreaths this week, Chris.
Yeah,
Okay.
We set a goal last year of 500, hit 425. So we're really shooting for 600.
Okay. All right. So let's put that challenge out to the listeners, the viewers, the business community, the coworkers out there, family members. Let's make it happen. We can do this. And the ultimate goal is for, to keep the two of you and your volunteers busy, but ultimately to just remember those veterans that are in those cemeteries. You said 14 cemeteries in Mason County, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wow, did not know
I
that.
forget the count on how many veterans are buried, but it's a lot. I think
Yeah.
there's just in Lakeview there's 1,500 or something like that.
I think so. Yeah. Yep.
That's incredible. All right, let's make a dent on this and make that happen. I'd like to do this if you would. You've got the flyer. We can post that in the comment section on our Facebook page, on our videos that's streaming right now. If we can get a copy of that, and we'll do that on our YouTube channel too. For the listeners as well, we'll make sure, and I believe it is in the fridge magnet program already, but if it's not, we'll make sure that that's in that, and then we'll push as hard as we can until what date? What's the deadline?
We've chosen November 14th as the cutoff date to be able to get our supplier to have the wreath for us for the 29th.
All right, so we can do this. I'm going to make sure that the radio station is fully behind this from now through the 14th, and we've got a huge and amazing loyal listener family to get you to the finish line. So 600 wreaths.
Yep.
Let's get there. I think we can.
I guess a neat way to look at this is it's kind of like some early Christmas shopping. What else can you buy your deceased veteran
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
leave on their gravesite, but something beautiful like a wreath and
Yep.
support that. So I think it's a really good cause, and we're pushing it hard. So
Yep, and I've been pushing our supplier to have 600 available, so
All
I'm
right.
kind of on the hook.
We got to make sure that, that everybody comes through, and I think that's all right. And here's another part is that there's kind of two paths here, right? There is the ones there's the path that if a family is connected to somebody that's buried in one of the cemeteries, they could tell you, okay, this is who this wreath, we want this wreath to go to.
Yes,
Then you have the other path, which is just anybody or everybody else out there that says we just want to make sure that a veteran receives a wreath. Is that the two paths of this program?
yes, sir.
yeah, and a lot of people will say buy two for some family or whatever, and then they'll donate two.
Oh,
So
that's great.
just
Yeah.
they pick two grave sites and then throw two in the pot
Right.
for somebody else
Yeah.
that doesn't have one. So,
I'm not from Mason County and don't have anybody buried here, but I buy a wreath every year for
Yeah.
a veteran.
That's pretty powerful. Absolutely. Bruce, I'll have both of you give us kind of a last thoughts. Anything that we missed talking about today? Anything that we can make sure that the listeners and viewers know?
I have one more item. It's separate from our Wreaths Across Mason County Day, but on December 13th is Wreaths Across America Day. I'm also the coordinator for that event. It's separate from Wreaths Across Mason County. But what we do is on December 13th, we'll have a ceremony at now Grace Funeral Home and Cremation Chapel, formerly Oak
Grove.
Grove.
Mhm.
And at noon, we'll have a ceremony inside the funeral home, and it'll be put on by the Post 76 Honor Guard. Then after their little ceremony indoor, we'll march over to right next door to the Mason County Veterans Memorial, where we'll have folks place eight wreaths for each branch of service.
Mhm.
And we'll have a little ceremony outside right at the memorial. So that's December 13th. And the community is more than welcome. We have plenty of room for anybody that wants to attend. So we kind of moved our Wreaths Across Mason County date so we could focus more on December 13th and on the Wreaths Across America. It was a pretty full day when we tried to do everything in one day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're doing a lot for the community and so many out there, and we want to thank you. Obviously, that's you've taken this program over as part of the Sons of the American Legion. You said, "Hey, we can do this." You expanded it last year in such huge efforts, and now the expectation is on your shoulders, and that's okay. That's something to get behind, and we want everybody to do that. So I hope Mike, your phone blows up today a little bit. We've got your number out there people can text you and say, "Hey, I'll commit a wreath or a couple of wreaths," or reach out to you for any questions, and let's make this happen. Bruce, I'll leave the last
One
you.
more quick thing.
Yeah.
On the wreath removal, which is late January, early February,
Mhm.
the wreaths are starting to look pretty ragged by then, but please do not take them down. We have money invested in the stakes that are holding them wreaths up that we reuse every year. Leave them there for us. We will come and get them. We just don't want to lose the stakes. They're like $4 or $5 a piece. So we reuse them every year to attach to the wreath. So we'll probably try to post a date when we're going to do that, but we go out and retrieve them all, then we bust them all down and get rid of the wreaths and save the stakes and clean them up and paint them if necessary for the following year. So, but please don't take them down on your own and throw them away. We will recover them.
Okay, good message there. Bruce, Mike, thank you for all that you do. It's incredible. And I think, we have enough time to probably connect with you a second time. We'll leave that door open closer to maybe the 10th of November or somewhere in there, see where we're at. see if we need to do even another last minute push. But for the listeners and viewers out there, let's see if we can change the momentum of where things are at right now and get you closer to that 600 mark. All right.
All righty.
All right. Thanks to both of you for joining us today.
Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. Stick around. We've got the 10 o'clock hour.